raft of bills today and kill them all.
Kill them.
Kill them all.
Kill them all. Does anybody want him to not kill them? No? Okay.
Okay, we have rules and since we have the time, I'll just read all the rules. Not. Not. We got rules and you're gonna follow them. Let's do a roll call just to make sure we have a bunch here.
Just want to confirm that.
Senator Cooper.
Yeah.
Excuse?
Who?
Senator Cooper.
Oh, Cooper, excuse.
Absent.
I don't know where he,
Senator
AWOL.
Jones. Senator Nethercott.
Here.
Senator Rothfuss.
Here.
Chairman Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Oh, Senator Nethercott's so proud of herself being here for a roll call.
I am.
Yeah.
Cooper's here.
Oh, and Cooper's here too. Hey, hey, all right. You can take him off the AWOL list. Okay, we have before us today House Bill 5, which probably looks a little bit familiar. It comes from our interim. I think we worked it during the interim and fixed it and changed it a little bit, but we can still defeat it. Does anybody want to present this bill? Do any of you guys want to present the bill?
Let's have contract.
Yeah, let's present it. Yeah.
This guy know anything about oil and gas?
I don't know. I don't know if he does or not. He's going to tell us so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Tom Kropatch. I'm the Oil and Gas Supervisor, the Oil and Gas Commission. And you did work this bill in the interim, and just a very brief background on it. If you remember last session, you passed the oil and gas bonding pool bill that was designed to help operators secure bonding in response to the federal or the BLM increasing their bonding rates in the previous year. In this case, as we went through the bill and got the bonding pool set up, we realized and were informed that the statute was silent on what happens to the earnings in the investment. And if that's the case, then those earnings go back to the general fund. And I don't think that was the intent. The intent of the bonding pool bill was to help the pool grow by keeping the earnings, the investment earnings in the pool. And so in this bill, all we did is add the language that those earnings will stay in the bonding pool bill. And so that's what it does, and would be open for any questions.
Questions? Questions? Yes, Senator Rothfuss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How are things going with the small operator bonding pool work? That's more interesting than this bill. So tell us about that.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Rothfuss, the statute passed last session became effective July 1st. The commission passed rulemaking on that to help detail the process for the bonding pool. Those were finalized. I think the final rule was approved by the commission in September, and they went into effect in November. Then we wrote an RFP to select a third-party bonding pool administrator, which was wasn't a requirement. We're allowed to either do a third party or have the commission operate their own. We did do that RFP and issued a notice of intent to award the RFP last week to a party that was participating in that interim session 2 summers ago. So we're in contract negotiation now with them to try to finalize those details, and we should be able to issue bonds out of the bonding pool probably in the next 30 to 45 days, assuming contract discussions are normal, which we don't see any issues with that. So we're moving forward, and they're bringing funds to their own bonding pool, so it provides additional funds than what we were able to provide. So I think everything is on track, and we should be able to issue that. In the meantime, BLM has extended the requirement to post those new bonds for new operators, or for transfers. Those bonds are actually being implemented. So there's, so if you're an existing operator, you don't have to post the increased amounts until 2027 now, but new operators and well transfers, they're starting to require those increased bonds. We're hoping to get these out and help those operators still in the meantime.
So follow up on that. So there was discussion that maybe they'd back down on it, but it doesn't look like they're backing down on it.
Mr. Chairman and Senator, they are backing down for just this, the kind of the status quo, but I think the problem is there are indications they're rewriting the rule. So I think there will be some reprieve at some point, but since those are the rules, if you're a new operator and have to post a bond, those are the amounts. So there's really nothing I think that they can do to fall back to the old amounts.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Senator Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm getting a lot of interest with this from small operators, asking what's the process? Who do they need to talk to? Where do they start? Can you kind of fill us in on that?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Cooper, they can just come to the commission. When we're ready to issue those bonds, the initial process will be just to fill out we'll have a small application, that provides their information and what they need, and that will get provided to the third-party administrator to help evaluate the company and the wells and the bond amounts. So it'll start with the commission and it will end with the commission essentially once the third-party administrator will make a recommendation back to us on their good standing. But the final determination on that would be to the commission. So they can come to the commission, they could talk to me or our staff, and we can help fill them in on the process and walk them through that.
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So are you accepting those applications now, or you'll probably be when you're ready to start issuing?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Cooper, we're not accepting them yet, but we hope to get all that information out before the contract is done. So as soon as it's signed, they can get pushed over to the third party who can then do that evaluation. So we're ready to issue right away. So we'll have that information out on our website. But if, if they just want to call us, we can walk them through the process.
You were referring to they in the previous discussion. Is that the commission you're talking about? Or who is they?
Who is the they?
Yeah, who is
The
they?
third party Mr. Chairman, the third party administrator.
Oh,
And so there's going to be kind of three parties involved in this, the operator who wants the bond, the third party bonding administrator. They're going to do the background on the operator themselves. So if they're credit risk or if their wells are at risk, and then the commission will evaluate the application and the third party administrator's evaluation of the company and issue the final determination of whether or not they have good standing and can participate in the program. So there's kind of three parts to that.
so that third party administrator, is that a private enterprise or is that state government?
Mr. Chairman, it is a private company that issues bonds. It's One Nexus. They were the party that did come in front of this committee in interim 2 summers ago and provided some comments on the program and described their program. And so we did award that to them last week.
One more follow-up, Mr.
Yes, Senator Cooper.
So, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Cooper. So what kind of funds are these new operators going to have to put up in comparison to what they would have had to put up before? Is that a word?
Pudding, yeah. Yeah, they should eat it.
Mr. Chairman and Senator Cooper, the original proposal, the maximum amount of the fees and collateral was 3% and a fee and 50% collateral, but we're working to try to use our bonding pool, the money that the state did put into its own bonding pool to help reduce that. And there's the proposer was amenable to negotiating those fees and the collateral. And so we're trying to reduce those as much as possible using the funds that the state put into the bonding pool. So we think we can get that lowered. But many of those operators right now would have to pay 100% of the bond as collateral. If they go get surety, then they're still paying 3 to 5% on top of that for a fee every year. And so we think we can reduce that roughly by half already. And we think more once we kind of have some negotiations, and it just details how much risk we want to put on the state bonding pool versus the money that they're bringing. And so we're trying to figure out the appropriate level of that, sharing that risk between the third party and the state bonding pool.
Other questions for the presenter, Jones? Senator Jones?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kropatch, could you tell us how many companies do you expect will take advantage of this, or do you have an estimate?
Mr. Chairman and Senator Jones, we think a lot of the smaller companies will, but in our discussions, the mid-size or the larger companies aren't that interested in participating because they can already secure bonds probably at a cheaper rate than that. In fact, most of them get it at almost no cost. Many of especially the larger companies, because they're somewhat self-insured. But we do think, 50 companies, if we had 50 companies participating, within the first year or so, we'd be very successful with that, all those smaller companies that are at risk. And some of it will depend on what the new BLM rule looks like. If they reduce bonds back to a similar level that they had, then those companies have already posted them and there may not be a reason for them to participate. But we do see many companies have interest in it. We do receive phone calls and updates on where we're at with that program. So I think there will be a bunch of companies that come on early and participate in the program. So
Most of our operators are smaller operators, but they might not be applying for permission, I guess. So they might not be having to bond. But at some point in time, there a lot more will be in that besides 50, wouldn't they?
Mr. Chairman, I think so. I think over time, more companies, and like I said, it really depends on what the BLM does, because if they've already posted a 25,000 or a bond right now on a lease bond, for example, if they don't have to replace it, then they may just sit there with the bond they have. But, depending on how the BLM rulemaking goes on the bonding rules that they have and what the final amounts are, then I think that would kind of be the impetus for some of those additional operators to come into the program and participate. Or if they're purchasing wells or a new company coming into the state, sometimes it's difficult for them to secure a bond, especially if they're just a new entity that just was set up. Then the bonding companies are a little more hesitant to provide a bond without requiring full collateral, even if they're a larger company. If they're a new LLC or a new entity that gets set up, they need a track record before the bonding companies will give them those lower rates.
Any more cross-examination of this witness?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Yeah.
certainly.
where is the BLM in the rulemaking process?
Mr. Chairman and Senator Nethercott, we're not aware of that. They announced that earlier late last year. And as far as we know, they haven't put out any language. We're not sure when they expect that to come out. They did issue kind of the interim final rule that was delaying the imposition of the new rates, but they haven't really said anything publicly that we're aware of when the potential draft rule will come out.
Other questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for introducing that properly.
Now we're going to get the streets.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, this is a jovial bunch today. Appreciate you being here. Pete Obermuller, President, Petroleum Association of Wyoming, support the bill. All the other discussion is more interesting. Just a couple things. Well, I should say, very much appreciate Supervisor Kropatch and his team working this process to now. I think there a lot of steps have taken place. I think we're in good shape. I just want to reiterate a couple things that he mentioned that make it important still under this timing, which is the pause is only for existing operators and existing bonds. Any new projects, those sorts of things, that's still under the President Biden rule as of June of 2026. So that is still a concern. And the bill as you all passed last year encompasses bonds of all types. And there's just a network of those within the BLM. One that just recently came to my attention is an instruction memorandum from the Biden administration that deals with renewals of rights of way bonding, particularly for flow lines and that sort of thing. And that instruction memorandum, those rights of ways renewals are just starting now. And under that IM, they're potentially requiring digging up those flow lines instead of the usual practice of trimming them, capping them, and leaving them underground. Of course, digging up a flow line is quite a lot of damage and requires a much bigger bond to do those sorts of things. So the impetus is still there. And I think because of that, you'll see a lot more participation, even if the rule itself is rescinded. They are in that process. Remember, the bonding rule is part of the large fluid mineral leasing rule. There's lots of other things in that rule that they're trying to work out as well. So that's why there's a little bit of a delay there at the national level. So just a little added color in case you wanted to talk more and more.
Quick question.
Questions, yes. Senator Cooper. Senator Cooper, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Obermuller, quickly, could you remind us what the new bonds are for new operators on federal lands right now?
Yeah, great question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, he said, go ahead.
The collective chairman. Thank you. Yeah, Senator Cooper, this is great. I haven't thought of these numbers in a while. They went from 25,000 to 500,000. Is that right?
Statewide.
25 to 150. Yeah. Yeah, right. 100 to 500,000 for the state side, 100 for a state one, 150 per lease. So, right, on an individual lease. So if you've got two leases, you're gonna need a state one. And so they're going, in those cases, which is a lot of cases, you'll remember my friend, Mr. Van Cleef, who testified last year on the bill, he's in that situation. He's 8 wells, but has 2 leases. So would need the 500,000 because he'd need a statewide.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's an existing, so his is delayed. He's not a new one,
right.
but new ones in that case would need that one. Would
Okay,
need-
Mr. Obermuller, for a federal unit of, say, 20,000 acres and it had 4 or 5 different leases in it, each of those leases would have an individual bond, or it would be a statewide bond.
Mr. Chairman, at that point, he would need that operator would need a statewide bond.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And you reminded me that there are several operators in Wyoming that received notifications of their bonds increasing prior to, and in a couple cases, just days before they paused the implementation. They don't know where they're at. Like those are dealing on a case by case basis. They were notified of their increase before that pause. So there's still a lot of moving parts to this.
Standard, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that hasn't changed for the feds yet, has it? Or has it? Has that dollar amount changed?
Well, Mr. Chairman, as Supervisor Corbett indicated, it hasn't changed. They've just paused implementation for existing operators for 1 year in anticipation of rewriting the rule. But as the supervisor mentioned, we haven't seen that yet. They're working on it.
Other questions? Other questions for the speaker? Other questions? Hearing none?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. PAW. Anyone else like to speak about this little bill we have? House Bill 5. Mr. Luthi, did you want to come up and speak about this?
Or chemtrails?
Or chemtrails? Yeah.
Please no.
Nice tie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was sitting in the back just to let you all know I was here. But thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this bill. We think it's a great idea. Thank you for your work on
And
it.
there's no other place you'd rather be.
And there is absolutely no other place that I would rather be.
There you go. There you go. That's what we wanted to hear.
Thank you,
There you
Mr.
go.
Chairman.
No other questions for Luthi? No. Oh, we have a question. Oh. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Luthi, could you tell us what the governor's office is doing to try to combat, maybe make this pause permanent and maybe what kind of things that we can do to help out?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Jones, we contact the BLM probably at least every 10 days and ask them for updates. So we're asking them to move along on this. So thank you for the reminder.
And who do you, when you say you contact them, who's that? The state guys or
Yeah.
feds or who?
Mr. Chairman, we generally go to DC. We use our Wyoming connections there.
Yeah. Okay. Follow up? Hearing none, I guess that's all we have,
Do you feel
Mr.
lucky?
Luthi.
Do you feel
Thank you.
lucky? Do you feel lucky?
Mr. Chairman, once again, there's no other place I would rather be, nor any other committee that I would rather attempt to answer your questions.
Well, we knew that, yeah.
So,
We knew that.
Happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else like to speak to this good little bill?
I think we've milked it about as long as we can.
Seems like it.
Did you want to go check in the hallway?
Yeah, do we get somebody else out of the hall? Nobody else wants to speak.
They're leaving before you can.
Dude,
close.
I know it, I know it. Wait a minute.
I've seen this play out before.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
They were afraid I was gonna call on them. Well, is there anybody on Zoom we can talk to?
No?
No. Nobody on Zoom, nobody in the room? We'll close public comment. Committee, what's your pleasure?
Let's move this bill.
Second.
You want to move it?
It was seconded by Jones.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
have to vote.
Let's do a roll call.
No, I ain't doing no roll call.
No, we should.
Think we should?
Discussion.
Sue, help us out here.
Sue, would you like to do a roll call on this bill?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
this is a roll call vote for House Bill 5. Senator Cooper,
Aye.
Senator Jones,
Aye.
Senator Nethercutt,
Aye.
Senator Rothfuss,
Aye.
Chairman Anderson.
I don't know. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, that's 5 ayes.
So that bill snuck by the Minerals Committee. Who's going to handle it on the floor? Cooper? Oh,
Okay,
Cooper, okay.
I do that one.
Way to volunteer, Cooper. All right. Anything else to come before the committee for the good of the order? Or any other reason? No, hearing none. We will adjourn.
That's a 42-minute filibuster of a 2-minute bill.